These slides are to help you understand more about phonics at Lower Farm Primary School. Phonics is an integral and extremely important part of your child's early reading development. Phonics teaches children the sounds that letters or a group of letters make in order to read and spell words. Some key vocabulary we use in phonics are phoneme, which is the smallest unit of sound, grapheme, which is the way we write or represent a sound written down, digraph, a grapheme containing 2 letters that make 1 sound, trigraph, a grapheme containing 3 letters that make 1 sound, blending, this involves hearing phonemes and being able to merge them together to make a word. Children need to develop this skill before they will be able to blend written words. Segmenting, this is the act of hearing a whole word and then splitting it up into the phonemes that make it. Children need to develop this skill before they will be able to segment words to spell them.
How do we teach phonics? At the moment we follow Letters and Sounds 2007, which was previously on the validated list approved by the government. However, from our spring term this year, we will be using Essential Letters and Sounds. This is a very similar programme but is on the new validated list of synthetic systematic phonics programmes provided by the government that all schools should choose from. We teach phonics at least once a day. Each lesson usually lasts around 20 minutes and follows the same routine every day in order to limit cognitive overload for our children. We revisit sounds already taught, teach a new sound, practice a new taught sound, and then apply the new sound in sentences.
The sounds children learn are sorted into phases. Children then work through these phases to then complete the programme. Phase 1. Phase 1 is absolutely vital. It is the one phase that shouldn't come to an end. These skills should continue to be developed throughout Key Stage 1 and Key Stage 2. Phase 1 develops children's abilities to listen, to make, to explore and to talk about sounds. This phase is split into 7 aspects that are explored and developed through games. No sounds are taught in this phase.
Phase 2. In this phase, usually taught in reception, children will start to learn the first sounds in the programme. They are split into 5 sets. I'm going to go through those now. S, A, T, P, I, N, M, D, G, O, K, 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 F, R, H, B, F, L, S, Phase 3 continues in the same way as Phase 2 and introduces more new sounds. By the end of Phase 3, the children will know one way of writing down each of the 44 phonemes. The letter sounds for this phase are J, V, U, X, Y, Z, Z, Q. Consonant digraphs Ch, Sh, or Ng. Vowel digraphs and trigraphs A, E, I, O, U or R, or, ow, oi, ear, your, and Children will learn to read CBC words. This means words with a consonant phoneme, a vowel phoneme, and then a consonant phoneme. It is not referring to the individual letters. Therefore, hot, bed, boat, and ship are all CBC words, but cow and toy are not.
In Phase 4, children do not learn any new sounds, but they do learn blends. The main challenge in this phase is to help children to blend and segment words with adjacent consonants. For example, truck, t, ook, and help, ulp. These adjacent consonant phonemes can both be heard when you say the word, which makes them different from a digraph where there are two letters that make just one sound. These are the blends that children learn during phase 4. St, nd, mp, nt, nk, ft, sk, ult, ulp, ulf, ulk, pt, xt, tr, dur, gur, cur, burr, fur, bull, full, gull, pull, cull, st, sl, thr, sk.
Phase 5. In this phase, we introduce some new sounds in the same way as in previous phases. 5 of these sounds are known as split digraphs. They are A, E, I, O, U. These used to be taught as magic E, but now it is recommended that children learn to recognise these in the same way as other graphemes, but simply explaining that in these particular graphemes the two letters work as a team, but they aren't directly next to each other. For the rest of phase 5, we introduce the idea that some graphemes can be pronounced in more than one way. For example, the ch grapheme can be pronounced in each of these ways: check, chef, and school. During this phase, we also look at alternative spellings.
Pronouncing the sounds. It is really important that the pronunciation of the sounds when teaching children is clear and pure. Example, sometimes when we pronounce the sound for we add a twang onto the end. We must make sure we pronounce them clear, pure and precisely. More advice on how to pronounce sounds can be found here in the YouTube link below.
Phonics screening. The phonics screening check is a government standard assessment that all children sit at the end of Year 1. In the assessment, children sit with a familiar adult and read 40 words. The words are a mix of real and nonsense words and contain the sounds that children will have learned throughout the phases. Nonsense words are also referred to as alien words. They are words that contain the sound taught and learned but make no sense. For example, pape. The purpose of these is to prove that children can segment and blend any word they come across, which will support them when reading hard text later on in their primary journey. The pass mark has been 32 out of 40 for the past few years, but this can change closer to the time.
COVID interruption. Like with a great deal of your child's education, COVID has caused lots of disruption, but we do endeavour to catch children up as much as possible. Because of this disruption, children now currently in Year 2 did not get the chance to sit the phonics screening check when they were in Year 1. Instead, the Year 2 children will be sitting their check throughout December this year. Then hopefully all Year 1 children will sit their phonics screening test in June. Any Year 2 children who do not reach the government standard in December will get another chance to resit the assessment in June.
How can you help at home? Practice, practice, practice. As with anything, phonics needs lots of practice. We have a subscription for Phonics Play, and this is a fantastic resource to use at home to practice sounds. This asks children to read real words, nonsense words, and you can read sentences too. We use this resource a lot in school, and it is invaluable. Going over sounds quickly, maybe even timing children, can support recalling sounds fluently. You can do this by using sound maps and simply pointing at the sounds you want your child to read. This can also highlight sounds your child might be struggling with. Reading books will also support children's phonics knowledge. You can do this through book club or with hard copy books from school. Spellings set on Spell Zone are linked to phonics taught in class. so it is also important this is completed too.
Thank you for taking time to read through and listen to our presentation. If you do have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact your class teacher, who will be very happy to help. Thank you.